Welcome to this CTP training video session on the 7 habits of successful translators. Make these habits part of your daily routine. They'll help you stay on top of your game as a business person and also as a translator. And translators who are at the top of their game, first, do better translations, second, stand a better chance of keeping their clients, and third, are more likely to get referrals from existing clients, which will help their translation business thrive and grow. Read. Write. Even if you primarily translate technical materials, legal contracts, resumes, or birth certificates, keep reading and writing. Why? Despite the prevalence of CAT tools and machine translation, good translation is an art, and it's based on the art of good communication. Read as often as you can in all your languages. This will help keep your non-native language skills in practice, and it will also keep your ability to understand idioms and the latest terminology fresh. Reading in your native language keeps you from starting to sound like a non-native speaker, which is surprisingly easy to do when one is immersed in another language on a daily basis. Write in your native language too. Good writing is a skill that needs to be refreshed, both to sound idiomatic and native, and also to communicate as clearly as possible. Since a good translation is almost never a literal one, your skills as a writer in your native language are paramount. Stay up to date. Keep abreast of current trends, globally and locally. If you're regularly reading in your source and target languages, you're more likely to know what's going on in the world. This is important for 2 reasons. Languages are a moving target. They morph regularly. Staying up to date on current events will help you understand the latest lingo. Staying up to date will also help you continue to expand your business. New areas and subspecialties crop up all the time. Others become less important. You don't need to be an early adopter or jump on every trend, but if one of the fields you're working in is moving in a specific direction, you want to be ready and able to move with it. Otherwise, you and your business may well be left in the dust of your more adaptable competitors and colleagues. And completely new areas are always golden opportunities for those who are prepared, which leads us to our next habit. Just like the Boy Scouts say, be prepared on as many levels as possible. This means keep your resume and CV up to date. In the long past, bad old days, you had to get resumes printed out by a printing company or copied at the copy store. Not so now. Keep your resume on your computer. As soon as you add something new, figure out if it belongs on your resume. When you run out of space, you'll have to decide if something old should be dropped in its favor, or if the older credit is in fact more important and worthy of retention instead. Carry your business cards with you at all times. Keep a few in your wallet or your purse. Murphy's Law dictates that the day you leave them at home will be the day you want them. And don't just keep those cards in your wallet. Pass them out whenever possible, or even better, exchange them with other entrepreneurs, business owners, managers, people you meet, etc. In other words, your potential clients, or referrals to potential clients. You never know who might be the perfect connection for you in your business. And when you have someone else's card, you can always connect them if you need to, or even refer someone else to their business should the need arise, creating a fresh cycle of referrals and business connections. Don't procrastinate. It's rare that a translation project will come with loads of excess time, but sometimes that does happen. Or perhaps you have a long-term project that you can easily accomplish if you work on it daily or even every other day. Don't procrastinate. There may be tangles to unweave in the middle of the text, and you may need that extra time to sort things out or to ask your client some questions about those very tangles. Or you may get a juicy offer for a great project when you're getting near the deadline for that first project. But if you've put off working on that first project, you'll be stuck, and you'll have to turn the second project down. Or what if there's a family emergency, or your computer crashes the day before the deadline? As Ben Franklin said, the early bird catches the worm. Be that early bird and do your work early and regularly. Or, if you like Aesop better than Ben Franklin, be the ant and not the grasshopper. Back up your work. What will happen if your computer crashes? Particularly if you've just finished that month-long literary translation you're immensely proud of. Will you have to reconstruct it? Will you be forced to apologize to your client for missing their deadline? Those are both ugly alternatives. The better choice: back up your work early and often. Whether you choose to use a flash drive, a second hard drive, another computer, or, perhaps easiest of all, storage in the cloud, backing up is boring, but absolutely crucial. We're all guilty of not following a regular backup plan, but set one and follow it. And then back up any project that you're working on at regular intervals during that project. Yes, MS Office does back up your work periodically, but I always find that the words I liked best were the ones I couldn't recover. And Office can't do a thing if your hard drive dies on the spot. Whether you use incremental or full backups, do them. Keep your word. If you don't do what you say you will do, why should a client come back? Remember, it's much easier to keep a client than to gain a new one. And a lost client rarely, if ever, returns, no matter what the original reason for losing them. Don't promise something you know you can't deliver. Meet all deadlines. This is a corollary to keeping your word. A contractual deadline is a promise to get work done by a certain time. Don't make your own and your clients' lives miserable by constantly being late or making excuses. Sure, there are one-time issues, such as family emergencies. And there are times when the project is different from what it looked like from the sample and other such issues, in which case you must contact the client immediately to give them a heads up. But as a general rule, make it a habit to turn in your work a little early, not a little late. Keep your skills current and keep your word. These two catchphrases sum up the best habits of successful translators. Thank you for joining us for this CTP training video session on the 7 habits of successful translators.